Phantom of the Hive, setting the scene. The Hive was the trendiest co-working space in the city. It was a sprawling, open-plan office filled with ergonomic chairs, expensive espresso machines, and the constant hum of ambitious freelancers. It was a place defined by hustle culture, where everyone was working on their next big startup or side hustle. The unofficial detective of this modern ecosystem was Alex. Alex was a data analyst who rarely spoke but noticed everything. While others were networking near the water cooler, Alex was observing patterns behind noise-canceling headphones. Alex's friend Jamie, a social media manager, acted as the bridge to the real world. Jamie knew the gossip, Alex knew the facts. The incident: it was 4 p.m. on a rainy Tuesday when Marcus stormed out of his private glass office, his face pale. Marcus was a cryptocurrency influencer known for his arrogant attitude and constant need to flex his wealth on Instagram. "It's gone!" Marcus yelled, causing the entire room to go silent. "My cold storage wallet, the USB drive with access to $500,000 in Bitcoin. It was in my locked drawer 10 minutes ago." "Nobody leave," Alex said quietly, standing up. It wasn't a shout, but the authority in Alex's voice stopped everyone near the exit. The investigation. Jamie immediately started scanning the room, whispering to Alex, "Okay, Sherlock, what's the vibe? Who looks guilty?" Alex ignored the question and approached Marcus's desk. "The lock hasn't been forced. Someone knew the combination or had a key. Who had access?" Marcus looked uncomfortable. "Only me. And maybe my ex-assistant, Sarah. But I fired her last week for being toxic." Alex raised an eyebrow. "Toxic or just tired of your demands?" They narrowed it down to 3 people who were near Marcus's office during the critical 10-minute window. Alex and Jamie pulled them into a small conference room for a vibe check. The suspects: Sarah, the disgruntled ex-employee. She was currently packing her things at a hot desk nearby. "Yeah, I still know his combination. He uses his birthday like an idiot. But I didn't take his crypto. I'm just here to finish my portfolio and get out of this toxic environment. Honestly, Marcus getting robbed? Sounds like karma." Alex's observation. Sarah's hands were shaking slightly, but she maintained strong eye contact. She seemed angry, not guilty. Leo, the struggling rival. Leo was developing a competing fintech app, but was rumored to be nearly bankrupt. He had been seen hovering near Marcus's office, pretending to make coffee. "Look, Marcus and I have beef, sure. His project is flashy garbage. But I'm not a thief. I was just waiting for the espresso machine." Alex's observation. Leo was sweating even though the AC was on full blast. He kept checking his phone anxiously. Bishay, the community manager. Becca ran the Hive. She was usually cheerful, but today she seemed stressed. She had a master key to all offices for cleaning purposes. "I was in there briefly to water the plants while Marcus was in the bathroom. I didn't touch his desk. We have strict protocols." Alex's observation. Base's smartwatch showed an unusually high heart rate. There was a faint smudge of fresh purple ink on her thumb, the same color as the ink pad on Marcus's desk used for stamping documents. The deduction. The air in the main room was heavy. Everyone stopped working, watching Alex, Jamie, and the 3 suspects emerge from the conference room. "Well?" Marcus demanded impatiently. "Who stole my future?" Alex adjusted their glasses and looked at the floor, piecing together the data points. "It's interesting," Alex began, their voice monotone. "Modern theft isn't usually about brute force. It's about opportunity and distraction." Alex turned to Leo. "You were nervous, Leo, but not because you stole the drive. You were waiting for an important investor call that never came. You were being ghosted. You were just near the coffee machine at the wrong time." Leo let out a breath he seemed to have been holding for an hour. Alex then looked at Sarah. "You have the motive. Marcus treated you terribly, and you knew the code. But you are too smart to use a code everyone knows you know. It would make you the obvious suspect. You want to move on, not go to jail." Finally, Alex turned to Bika, the community manager. "Marcus," Alex asked, "did you stamp any documents today?" "No, why?" Alex pointed to Becca's hand. "Becca, when you went in to water the plants, you didn't just use the master key. You opened the drawer. You were frantic. You snagged the drive, but your thumb brushed the ink pad inside the drawer. That purple smudge on your thumb is pretty damning evidence. Bika's calm demeanor cracked. You don't understand. The Hive is going under. We haven't paid rent in 2 months. Marcus owes us thousands in back fees for that private office, and he just keeps buying expensive watches instead of paying. I was just going to hold it as collateral until he paid his bills. Marcus looked furious, but also slightly embarrassed as everyone in the co-working space looked at him. Beka, Alex said calmly, where is the drive now? Beka looked at her smartwatch again, tears welling in her eyes. I don't have it. I panicked when Marcus yelled. I dropped it into someone's open backpack near the door right before Alex stopped everyone. The room went deadly silent again. Everyone looked at their own bags. The thief had been caught, but the treasure was still missing, hidden somewhere in the Hive.